Watch this if you don't know what to do with your life. So hi guys, my name is Samuel and I'd like to discuss with you guys about it today. So I think the first thing is, one thing I realized in my life, that especially if you're young and you don't know what to do, I know it sounds crazy, but to be honest, that's the best way for you to do it, is you have to risk as much as you can. The younger you are, pretty much. So the younger you are, the more you want to risk, because if everything turns down to shit, and if you cannot sustain what you try to do, or your project fails or something like this, most of you guys, I'm not saying all of you, but most of you have a place to live and a place to stay, and most of you guys have parents or somebody that's going to support you to start over, and that's one of the key things for you. So that's the first thing. You have to understand it, because one thing I realized about my life, I'm only 25 years old, but I realized that the older you get, the harder it is for you to take risks, especially if you have kids, you have a family, you have a spouse, or you have a place to pay rent, or whatever, and you can really take too much risk, because the worst thing that can happen to you is you live in the streets or something like this. So you gotta figure out, you gotta try as much things as you can as early as possible. So people say, oh, I'm just gonna take my time and whatever, but that really depends on your situation. Because if you know that you have a family that's gonna always take care of you, then it is okay for you to try and take your time, and if you feel something is okay, and then you can rest a little bit, and you just follow the pace of life. You know what I'm saying? But some of you guys, and especially for me, for people like me who don't really have too much support with your family. I mean, I don't even have a family. My mother passed. I don't have a father, and my life was I always struggle like so much in my life. And some of us are, unfortunately, it is our situation. So we need to, kind of work harder, or kind of try to push harder for that. So if you're young, if you don't know what to do, the first thing I would say is test and try as many things as you can. And worst case scenario, if you fail, you're king back to scratch and try again. So if you don't want to go to college, or you want to open a business, and you want to focus on this, make sure you do it early. And if you're not young anymore, you have to see your situation and your circumstance. But especially, I'm making this video specifically for the young people out there. Focus on one thing that you really know that's gonna work out for you, and then try that for 1 year or 2 years, or as much as you can, until you figure out for yourself if that's gonna be worth pursuing or not. So when I say try as many things as you can, I'm really trying to say, like, strategize what you want to have, strategize what makes sense for you. See and do some research on the sustainability of what you want to do, whether it's a business or something, and then you focus only on this and pull all your energy on this for as long as you can, until you figure out if that's going to take off or not. And if it doesn't take off, how long you've done this for, and if it's worth it waiting longer or changing for something else. Because you can't just start something for a month and it doesn't work out, and then try something else and it doesn't work out for a month, and then you try it again, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna keep skipping from one thing to one thing to another thing, and then next thing you know, 2 years down the line, you haven't done anything because you haven't focused on what you want to do. So you have to be careful with what I'm trying to say. So try as many things as you can, but give time. Because give time for it to flourish, because everything you do, it takes time. Everything you do, I don't care what it is, whether you go to college or whether you open a business, there's no get rich scheme, there's nothing like this. So for everything you do, you're gonna take at least 6 months to a year to see some type of results, and some people can take even longer, because, like I said, if you want to have a profession, a vocation, you're not gonna have a vocation in a month. You're not gonna have a vocation in 3 months. It takes a long time, But if you've done the research and you believe in what you're doing, and you're young and you have time and energy to do that, then boom, go as hard as you can and pursue that as hard as you can. So that's one of the key advices I would tell you. And another thing, last but not least, is look inside of you. Look inside of you, because you're gonna have to serve the world in some way. Anything that you do, whether you work or whatever, you're gonna have to serve someone. So see, like, where can you help society with? How can you help society? Where can you help people? Because it ultimately is, you have to give value to people. You gotta help people's lives, so then they're gonna help you back, whether it's by paying you your wage or whatever, or giving their attention to you. It doesn't matter. You're gonna have to serve people in some way, you know, and you gotta figure that out. And I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure that for myself as well. So I don't just have this YouTube channel, but I have other projects outside of YouTube, and I'm trying to pursue it and find myself every single day and give time for it to flourish. So when you chose what you want to do, it's like planting a tree. So you're gonna plant the seed, you're gonna put the seed in there, and you're gonna water it every day, like I said in the previous video. And then you're gonna, you know, water it every day. And by water it every day, I mean work on it every day, day in on day on, and try to specialize, study, try to become the best that you can, and give time. Because again, you can change your career, but you still need time to make it happen and make it flourish. Okay, so I hope this video is insightful in any way, and I hope it can help you find what you want to do with your life. Because I know it's not easy, and it's really not easy when you're 18 years old trying to figure out what you want to do, or 19, or even 20. And some people, they haven't figured out to this day. Like some people, they're 40, 50, 60 years old, and yes, they have a job, but that's not what they wanted to do, and they haven't really figured out what they want to do. And so it's finding who you are and what will be your vocation or whatever could be one of the hardest questions that you can answer. But the earlier you start pursuing the answer to that question, the better for you. And like I said, always keep that in mind, that the younger you are, sorry for this dog barking in here, the younger you are, the easier it is for you, and the older you get, the harder it gets for you. And I know it puts a lot of pressure on you, but I'm not gonna come in here and make up stories and lies for you, especially if you're in a tight position where you just don't have too much option in your life. So yes, even though it puts a lot of pressure on you, unfortunately, man, that's how the world is. The world's it's a cruel world, you know. But it's okay. As long as you're alive, and as long as you're breathing, as long as you're trying, you're gonna be all right. Okay, so I'm rooting up for you. Hope you can find whatever you want to do and become the best at it, and, you know, flourish, because you have something inside of you. All of us have something inside of us. I have something inside of me that I can give to the world. You have something inside of you that you can give to the world. So it works like that, you know. And then just do your research, see how much money you want to make, see the sustainability of the system that you want to have, see where do you want to live, which state you want to be, which country do you want to be, do you want to stay in the same country forever, or you want to be able to travel or not. So there are many questions you can do, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions, but then that's what you will have to make your own research to find out what you want. Okay, so I hope you liked the video. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Good luck in your life. Bye. Yeah.